Welcome to Live Edge, episode number next. I'm Matt.
I'm Greg.
Welcome to the show. On this episode, we're going to take woodworking Q&A. We're just going to talk woodworking tools, where to find some deals, or if you have questions about, hey, what products do well at markets, Mr. Greg knows about that. So, yeah, and especially like this time of year, he is in full production mode, making all kinds of stuff. So if you have any questions about that kind of stuff, hit us up. All you got to do is put a Q in front of your question in the chat, and then we'll go from there. So first off, though, deal. So I want to talk about just a few deals, or where to find them, actually. But, you know, that way you don't miss out on anything. First and foremost, you got to go to my website, 731woodworks.com, 731woodworks.com, and click on that Tool Deals button. It's going to open this page right here. We've got a 25% off everything in our store sale. So woodworking plans, board butter, all that stuff. Just use the code BF2024 at checkout. You'll get 25% off any of that stuff. There's some CNC deals there if you want to check those out. This box right here, click that box on 731woodworks.com in the tool deals section. And I've got all deals for Black Friday on tools categorized so that you can find them easier and you don't miss any deals. And I have a ton of them. I've been working hours on this, y'all, so be sure and check that out. We also still have our wood kits, which are also available on the homepage at 731woodworks.com. Any charcuterie kits are free shipping. Some dimensional kits in there. Several of these are selling out, so if you want them, you may want to check them out. Also, faithvalleytools.com. We haven't talked about that in a while. That's our tool website. We have our own tools on there. We have the Precision Woodworking Square. We have the Woodworkers Chronicle. But we've just revamped a little bit the website to help it way more user-friendly. There's also a Boss Dog Glue is on there now. And then this is 20% off. Any of my stuff and any of Boss Dog stuff is 20% off if you use the code BF20 at checkout. And I worked with Masca Products, and he has put together some bundles for us that are also already discounted. You don't need a code for these. They are already discounted just for Black Friday, so you might want to take advantage of this. If you really want a really nice pocket hole jig, especially with that mounting board and everything, it just makes everything so nice. So check those out on Faith Valley Tools. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Paul Ellis celebrates 20 months of membership. He says,
I don't hear you, Matt.
I must have pushed a button.
We know how that
How
goes.
long was the sound off? The whole time?
Maybe 20 seconds. It's right after you hit the sound effects.
Oh, okay. So it auto muted. I don't know what I did there. Oops. Pushed a button.
Amy's not here to
so
keep you
we're
from
just
pushing
taking
the button.
woodworking Q&A. So if any of y'all have just joined us and you got questions for me or Greg, if you don't know who Greg is, he's STL Woodworking on YouTube here. He made a face. I was making sure I didn't say something wrong. He's STL Woodworking on YouTube. Greg, can you drop your channel URL in the description or in the chat for us? But yeah, he has his own woodworking business, and he's teetering on the edge of that full-time life, but he's still working a full-time job. So he's got 2 full-time jobs, I think. But he does a lot of production style work. He also does, epoxy tables, and he's very proficient at markets. Is that what you call them? Markets, when you go to market?
Yeah. Just markets.
Miss Amy's not feeling well. Her ribs are hurting her, so she took the night off, and Greg is kind enough to step in. Reed wants to know, what's the best-selling item you've ever had?
Me? So I'm going to assume volume-wise, money-wise, tables, obviously, but believe it or not, whiskey smokers. I can't keep whiskey smokers in stock usually at markets. They usually sell out every single time.
Do you stock those on your website?
I do. I say that. I hope I have some on there. I may be out.
Too.
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh, you're sold out.
Yep. I'm out. Golly bum. That means I got to get to work.
Yeah, you do. So for me, my most popular product was our stove covers. We sold hundreds of those things. There's a video if you just search 731 Woodwork stove covers on YouTube. Look for the 2.0 model. We revamped it just a little bit. I actually redid the video showing you how to make them better, faster, easier. But we sold hundreds of those things, and we have several people in our group, in our mentor group, that have been selling a bunch of those as well. So they're still hot sellers. I think I have a graphic here. Yeah. If you want, there's 45 project ideas that sell. If you're looking for project ideas to sell, we give them away for free. Just go to school.com/731woodworks, and we have those available for you there. It's free to sign up. You'll get those for free. You can also, there's a blueprint video on there talking about how to turn your woodworking into passion. All that's free. There's 3 master classes on there as well. So you can check those out if you're interested. See if I got some questions here. Mr. Paul asked a question, and apparently I'm muted. I'm going to scroll back up. See what I missed. Paul, oh, there it is. Hey, he asked about the dado stack or insert for skill. I would personally just buy them because it's easier, but if you want to make them and you have the time and the effort. David says, is he a woodworker or a salesman? I'm both. I can be both. Why does it
gotta be?
Always pushing buttons. That's right, McMahon. Always pushing buttons. All right. So Ira says, for Greg or Matt, do you think that the Delta Cruiser miter saw will go on sale this Black Friday? I haven't seen it on sale yet, and I actually haven't seen it on much of a sale recently. There's been the rigid version was on a crazy discount in store only a few months ago. But what about you, Greg? You think?
I don't know, man. There is no telling. I mean, really, with Black Friday, you just can't ever tell. I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah, I haven't either. Meteorology Unleashed says, can I get a shout out, please? Oh, there you go. Joe Duvall says, can you recommend a good food quality epoxy to use on my river cutting boards?
Yes. Super clear. Full disclosure, they're a channel sponsor, but they're a channel sponsor because I really, really, really love their product. That's what I would use. That's what I use exclusively.
Do you have a link to them on your website, Greg?
Yeah, under my affiliate links on my website. Yeah, there's one for them. And a discount code too.
Yeah, it's I just had it pulled up here.
I'll put it in the chat.
STOwoodworkingshop.com. Joe Duvall says, can you oh, that was Joe. I was already answered that, Joe. Donna says, just started woodworking. Is there some router YouTube to help with using a router table? I'm sure there is. I haven't made one specifically on router tables. I made one on routers themselves. I might can search around and see who I would tell you to go look. And Greg, do you know one offhand?
I don't know one off the top of my head. I was sitting here thinking to myself, man, that's a good idea. I really don't.
I see a lot of people making router videos. 10 years ago, Woodwork Web made one. That's a good channel. How to use a router table. How to use a router table wood magazine 8 years ago, 900,000 views. Those two are reputable. Woodwork Web and Wood Magazine are both reputable. So I would probably lean on one of those. Teles says, hello, how are you? We are good. I wanted to stop by and thank you for everything I've learned from you. I wish you all the best and may life smile upon you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Rod says, what's the best way to get straight edge on a board without a jointer? Money is an issue. I have a video on jointing without a jointer. If you just search 731 no jointer, no problem, you'll find it on YouTube. Greg, You have any
Table
tips?
saw. Table saw.
A table saw, if you have a table saw. If not, a router can do it. With a little jig, you can search router jig joint or router jointing jig. Build you a little jig and do that. It can be done for sure. Or you can go old school and get a hand plane. I've seen it done
That's
that way
right.
too. Jason says, I want to try my hand at epoxy. Would you advise a class? I have a rockler near me and I could do that. Greg, to answer that one.
Yeah, I don't know about Rockler. I'm not familiar with their classes. I actually teach epoxy classes in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I don't know where you are, but most of the woodcrafts have an epoxy class. If you have a woodcraft near you, I do not know about Rockler, just to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be fine though. Intro to epoxy.
Yeah, most of them do an intro.
Most of those rocklers and woodcraft put on a good classes. Like they put on really good classes. What do people do with the stove covers when the stove is in use? Well, most people. My wife says the internet's out. It's still showing. It's still showing good here. Most people just move them off the stove and set them on the counter. But truthfully, most people that buy the stove covers, they just don't use the stove. Tim wants to know, what wood would you recommend for a whiskey smoker? What?
White oak, Tim.
Okay.
White oak's the best one to use, simply because most of your whiskeys are stored in oak barrels. So white oak works well, and you can use the chips to burn too, and the flavor is actually pretty good.
Yellowhammer wants to know if you're still going to do the letters, Craig.
Yes, sir. As soon as I get the shop built.
I'm a little behind, so that's why some of the questions have been asked a while back. Just making sure. Fraser wants to know, says he's got a rigid portable dado saw. He's a 6-inch dado stack. Is there any things to look for when shopping to ensure you get a good set? I would go with the name brands. Freud, CMT. I don't know if anybody else makes one. Do you? Who else makes it?
I have the CMT, the one that you featured on one of yours, the Euro one.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
R&R says, any tips on getting square cuts with a jigsaw? Throw the jigsaw away. No, I'm kidding. Always gets out of square, especially on curved blades. Festool blades, I'm telling you, I thought, so I heard this tip from James King, and I don't remember what video it was on. He was talking about if you buy these Festool blades, like your jigsaw goes next level. And I paraphrasing, of course. And so I was like, I don't know about that. So I bought a set. It was like $30 for a set of, like I've got, I don't know, there's like 20 in there, which is expensive for jigsaw blades, right? And I got them and I was like, holy crap. That man was right. Because you just go to Amazon and pick up a set of Festool blades and jigsaw blades for wood and rock on, man. It makes a big difference.
It does. That's what I use in my jigsaw, just the Festool blades.
How durable is epoxy finish? Miss Louise wants to know.
Probably the most durable finish you can use. I would suggest putting ceramic coating on it, though. I do on everything I make with epoxy.
Whose ceramic coating you use?
Carbon Method.
Do you think the Milwaukee 3-inch 12-volt random orbital sander will go on sale anytime soon? I do not expect it to be on a Black Friday sale, only because I get quite a few advance notices on what's going to be on sale in spreadsheet form. Like these companies will send me a spreadsheet of what's going on sale or whatever, and I have yet to see one of those on sale in there anywhere. Matter of fact, I haven't even seen the little orbital, the baseball home plate shaped, triangle shaped sander on sale, and it's been on sale off and on this year, but I didn't see it on any Black Friday sales with a combo kit. Now you can get it on sale with just the sander itself, but I haven't seen the 3-inch one on sale yet. Rod says he's already seen the video on jointing jig. He's not finished with it, but I'm pretty new to woodworking. But I guess my original question was like the best way and easiest. The jointing jig is going to be your easiest. It's super simple. Steve says, "Hey, new fan, thanks for the great content." Well, thank you. Starting getting to the flex tools, so I love it when you cover them. Tried out the flex jigsaw enough to decide if it's noteworthy. I haven't used the flex jigsaw. The only flex tool I have in the shop right now is the router, the little trim router, and it's a good router. It's a very good router. And Flex has some fantastic deals right now on Lowe's and Amazon and Acme Tools. So they're like sneaky good. Jason Preacher says, as far as stove cover goes, I plan on making my partners to hang on the back of our kitchen island when the stove is in use. That's a great idea. It's a great idea. Mr. Tim wants to know, Greg, how's that shop building coming along?
Waiting on permits.
Brian, congratulations. He says he sold his first cutting board the other day. That's fantastic, man. We're happy.
Awesome.
God is good says he just turned in. Always great to see STL. I agree.
Thank you.
James says, are you going to make a video on the Bauer dust collector that Harbor Freight just released? I don't know. And the reason I don't know is I don't have any space right now. I'm literally tapped out. And so I got to make some space. And once that's done, we may look at that early next year, probably. McMath says, do you ever use ceramic coating over top of a hard wax oil, aka Rubio or Osmo?
Yes, every single time.
Man,
I put on every single thing I build, as far as tables, I put the ceramic coating on over every finish.
So I have a desk here. I built a desk and I used it for a long time, and then I was like, I want a standing desk. So I researched. I don't even know the name of this thing, or I would tell you. But I researched on YouTube and everywhere, and this thing is like you can stand on it and it won't move. And that's one thing I didn't want it to like shaking and wobbling. And so, anyway, I was like, I just want to get the standing desk. I just want to throw a top on it. But I bought this top. It's like a butcher block top from Lowe's because it was on a really good sale. And when I got it, I was like, well, I want it to stand up to what a desk is going to take. And so I put a coat of Rubio on it. And then I put a coat of that ceramic stuff on it. This was rock solid, man. Rock solid. And it was so easy to apply. That's the easiest finish I've ever put on anything is that stuff. You literally just wipe it on. And it still looks like that. And it's been in here a long time and has taken a pretty good abuse. And the great thing is, like, if you're using it for tables or coffee tables or end tables or anything like that, you can set a cup down on it. It can sweat all night long. It's not going to leave a ring. It just doesn't. The water will not soak through it. Will not.
Yeah.
I'm going to show it real quick. If you go to carbonmethod.com, I don't have a code. Greg, do you have a code by chance? Or just go to Greg's website and click on it.
Yeah, I just got a link. I don't have a code.
The ceramic nano finish, you just go to coatings down to wood. This is what I used. Super easy. It is not a lot in there, but it goes a long, long way. So it just depends on how much area you need to cover there. It's a little pricey, but the way I think about that is you're not going to have to recoat it. And it's so durable that it's going to stand up to the test of time, right? And so I think it's justifiable personally.
It really is. I agree. 1,000%.
Let's see. Don't want to miss nobody. All right. So Stuart says, Greg, I got my first table job promise this week. He wants epoxy on the top. What's the best way to apply the epoxy? Do you just pour it and let it run over the edge?
So, long story short, yes. You'll pour it. I recommend 3 different coats to make sure you fill in all the gaps. And we can get into more detail if you want to reach out to me. But yeah, pour it over top, let it right off the sides. A couple of different ways you can take care of the drips. But yeah, you really do.
Ron wants to know, how big is your shop going to be?
40 by 60.
That's a good size shop. So much room for activities. Charlie says he's been asked to make a 6x6 sign, so he needs straight cuts to glue the pieces together. Would using this Craig circular saw straight edge guide work the best for a tight budget, or go for the table saw? I haven't used that straight edge guide unless it's the rip cut. If it's the rip cut, probably not. I would probably go for table saw.
I would too. I think that's what he's talking about. That's what I got, the rip cut.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
I like it all right if you're just breaking down sheet goods and stuff, but if you're needing super exact stuff, then maybe not. Yellow Hammer says, are y'all coming to Workbench Con?
Yes, sir.
I haven't made up my mind yet, honestly. We haven't bought tickets, so I don't know.
He's coming, David. He's coming.
I don't know. Don't know yet. James says, thanks for that. I'm looking to getting in along with the dust extractor reviews. Seems like the Hercules is a solid budget choice. I agree. I think a lot of people have been happy with that Harbor Freight dust collector. Even the previous version, people loved it. And so I don't think you go wrong with it.
I actually bought it.
Johnny King wants to know, what would you personally say is the best CNC? What's your budget?
Answer that?
No, yeah, it's all
yeah. For my first question would be, what's your budget? And I'll tell you, this is seriously my standard answer. If you're looking at a entry level CNC, you got three choices. You got Carbide 3D, which is the Shapeco. You have an Alt Mill, which is CNC Labs, and you have Onefinity. Those are your top three entry level machines. All of them are good machines.
Onefinity just released some new stuff this week too. Did you see that?
Man, I've been talking to them for the last month, and they just like bombarded everybody with product
like
after
a whole week of releases or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I know that Shapeco's on Black Friday right now. If you go to 731woodworks.com and you click on that Black Friday, well, first, if you go to my website, you got to click the Tool Deals button, and then you can click the Black Friday button. Or actually, there's a whole post on the deals right there. There's $250 off the Shapeco 5 Pro. And then also what people missing on this deal is 15% off everything else, which means if you do pick up the spindles and the bits and all that stuff, all that gets 15% off. But you get the other dollar amount off the CNC. So it's a pretty good deal. But yeah, Onefinity was dropping bombs this week. Just doo, 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 doo. I was like, it's pretty cool to see. I like seeing new stuff like that.
Yep.
Jason says, I'm looking to get a new Harbor Freight Warrior dovetail jig. Any thoughts? I haven't used that one at all, so I'm not sure. I can't answer that for you.
I can't either.
There's the carbonmethod.com affiliate link for STO if you want to support him. Just popped it up on the screen if you're looking to get that nano coating. Huffs says, we all know how much we love sanding. I have a Makita sander and had several others in the past. I haven't pulled the trigger on the Festool 6-inch sander, but I plan to. Is it really a night and day? They're so nice, man. They're so nice. But I was really surprised with the Bosch sander. I really was. It's really nice.
I saw that. I've never messed with the Bosch sander.
So it was new to me. I actually didn't know that it had been around for several years. And I mean, you would think that I would have seen it by now, and I probably have. I just skimmed over it, didn't think nothing of it, you know. And I kept getting comments about it. I was like, man, I got to check this thing out. And I caught it on sale on Amazon. I was like, gotcha.
I watched the review. I was impressed because I use a Rotex all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a beast. Reed Allen says, any recommendations for a laser in the $1,500 area? Have a CNC and love it, but I want a laser to batch out other super fast and more detailed. X-Tool is what I've used. And my wife has it. I don't even use it. She has it. I know several people that own X-Tools, and they're fantastic. And if you go to Amazon right now, they're all on sale. All of them. On the lowest, a lot of them are lowest price evers. I've got them listed on that Black Friday deals on my website. In that post, there's several of them in there that are, if you see the little, what do you call it? The little red light beside them, that means they're the lowest price ever. If you go to the website and click on that Black Friday, when you see that right there, there's a website you can check. It's called camel.com or Keepa, Keepa. You can check prices, and let me find it right here. Like all of those X-Tools are on sale. Like you get the F1, so if you wanted the more portable one, I can't open that on the live stream, or Amazon doesn't like that. So I can't open an Amazon page and show the price listing. It's against the rules, even though a lot of people do it. But anyway, all those are on sale. The S1 20 watt is also it's $1,800, and on regular price it's down to $1,400 retail. I think that would be a good one to look at. And then the 40 watt is about $500 more than that. So that's
I have
what
the
would look at.
D1.
Greg, do you have any D1?
Yeah, I have the X-Tool D1, and it's been good.
Yeah, and
It's
right now it's on for $855, so it's regular $1069.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, they're on a really good deal. Which Rubio coat do you like the best?
Pure.
Agreed. It just looks good. It doesn't change the color of your wood, especially if you're using on like hardwoods, and walnut. Man, makes walnut look amazing.
It does. The only caveat I would say to that is if you're using oak, and if you're using like a nice oak, the Rubio white actually does really, really good on oak.
Do you ever do any power carving, bowls, and that stuff? I don't.
Not yet.
We don't. Is anyone else feeling really gutted that the TSC Festool TSC 55 KEB doesn't fit the FSK rails? I wasn't aware of it. Greg, are you tore up about it?
I did not even know.
Michael says, I want to thank you for all your inspirational, both woodworking and with the Lord. Thank you. Since I have a one-car garage, everything will be on wheels. That's good. Even the router, miter stall, drill press, almost everything in my well, I have a lot of stuff on. I don't say everything, but I have a lot of stuff on wheels just so I can get it out of the way if I need to. What would you say is the best blade recommended for the table saw and circular saw? I like CMT blades. They're actually on a really good sale at Tay Tools right now, probably on Amazon as well. But I like CMT blades, CMT Chrome, not the ITK Extreme. The ITK Extreme are really nice, but they're also like they're Diablo blades, basically. They're very, very similar in quality. If you want and just a little bit, you don't want to spend $150 on a blade, but you don't mind spending $75 or $80 for a really good quality table saw blade, CMT's the way to go, in my opinion.
That's what I have. I have the CMT Chrome. But,
Woodcraft sells their Wood River line. I've got a 40-tooth Wood River. It's been good. I have no problem with it either. So, what's the best source for learning the CNC setup? Using one for the first time, as in a dummy's guide for CNC.
Are you talking about just in general or software? Because a couple of different answers for that. If you're looking for software, Kyle Ely actually has an amazing course for Vectric. If you're a Vectric user, I actually purchased this course myself, and I'm pretty good at CNC. I still learned all kinds of stuff. One person to follow is actually Mark Lindsay. Mark Lindsay CNC. He does all kinds of tutorials. That's what his channel is all about, is just CNC tutorials.
Sweet. Fox and Kit says, any deals on drum sanders? Absolutely. There's several, actually. Again, on my website, click that Black Friday Tool Deals button, scroll down into the sanders section. I've got multiple listed there from Jet. They're all on sale. 15% off for Black Friday. Huff says, where would you use a Rotex in woodworking?
I use it on all of my tables, all of them with epoxy.
So I use it a lot. If you got just any rough finish, like if you got a rough board or something you want to knock, like just super fast, like it is belt sander level of removal, but it's giving you a good finish. I just think it's a really cool tool to have. Do I think it's necessary? No. I think you can. It's not one of those things that you just have to have. It's one of those things that's nice to have if you have the budget for it. Do you ever have a problem where your wood is too hard and you can't work with it? No. I guess if you're using ePay or something, maybe. Or
That's
what's that
pretty
other one?
hardwood.
What's the one that James King makes all his mallets out of that are like insanely hard?
Ebony and the IPE, whatever it is. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the
There's
hardest
another
ones on
one.
the
No,
scale.
there's another one. It's come on, here they are. This is kingsfinewoodworking.com, in case you're wondering. Is it that? It may be this one. It's Lignay or something. It's kind of, oh, there it is. Lignum vitae. It's supposed to be like one of the hardest woods you can use.
Oh, wow. I don't know that one.
It's very difficult. Like, to understand how good this man is, like, he's using these type woods to make this stuff and they come out flawless. Like, it's impressive. It's impressive. I have one of those hammers and they're awesome. They're just like, you don't want to hit nothing with it type good, you know?
Oh, nice.
It says, I'm in the market for a new table saw. Do you recommend the Skill or the DeWalt DWE 7485? I would probably go, as much as I love the Skill, I would probably go with DeWalt personally. And I love that Skill. I think the Skill is the best budget table saw on the market. And it's $259 right now on Amazon. $249 on Amazon. Like, that is the best deal smoking in woodworking right now, all the way around, in my opinion. So if you just want to save some money, I think it's a fantastic saw. If you're asking me which one I think's better, I think the DeWalt's going to be slightly better. Personally, I just like DeWalt stuff though, so I may be just fanboying here.
It's a good price.
Tim says, I may have missed it, but do you post any 3D printer tool deals? And what do y'all recommend as a buy once and cry once for a small shop? Yeah, I think I've got 3D printers on that same 731woodworks.com. Click the tool deals button, click the Black Friday deals. And yeah, there are, what do you call those? 3D printers on sale from Bamboo Labs. Buy once, cry once, get the X1 Carbon, and be done.
Agree 1,000%. The X1 Carbon with the AMS system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right there under the X tool deals. You'll see it'll say up to $250 off Bamboo Lab printers, and you click on that little old link there, help a brother out, and then yeah, they're Black Friday deals. Or you can just go to X or bamboolab.com if you just want to make sure go there. But this one's it right there, the X1, it's on sale.
That's a crazy price.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I paid full price for it, $250 off. And if you just want to dabble in 3D printing, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. That little A1 Mini is $200. I actually bought it to do a review on the Outlaw Effect channel, and gave it to my son because he builds these little characters and stuff, and they have weapons and all kinds of stuff on them, and he's using it to do that kind of stuff, make his little parts and pieces and fix them if they're broke or whatever. So it's pretty cool. Those are just really cool. Now the little A1 Mini, you're not, the bed's not very big, so you can't print large products, but that X1 Carbon will print pretty good sized stuff. I was actually kind of surprised by that.
I think the Mini's like 7x7. I have the Mini too, and it works great.
We missed the power tip time.
Yeah. I didn't have one anyway.
Which would you purchase, a CNC or a 3D printer?
CNC.
Yeah, CNC can make more. There's people making a bunch of money with 3D printers. But if you just want to be able to customize people's products, you want to be able to, engrave, you want to be able to make your own products, you want to batch stuff out in production, CNC.
Yeah, if you want to try to do a lot of stuff on a 3D printer, you're going to have to wind up with a print farm, which is going to be a lot more money all in.
Okay, here's a confession. When I got the X1 Carbon, my first thought was, this thing takes forever, because I had CNC and I could, cut something out in just a little bit. And I get this 3D printer and it's like this little part that's like this square is going to take like 6 hours. So I'm like, what? 6 hours? How are people making money with these things? And then I was like, oh yeah, everybody that I know that's making money with these things has like 50 of them and they're all constantly printing stuff. Jason, no, you didn't miss it. We missed the power tip, but we're going to do it right now, I think. I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to pull something up. Greg, entertain them while I try.
Yeah. So on the
spot,
X1 carbon thing, on Matt's point, I will say this. I thought the same thing, but then I got to looking at the other different types of 3D printers. The X1 carbon is like twice as fast as most all the other ones.
True. And that's what a bunch of people commented on that video when I was like, it's taking forever, because I made a review on it too. And they're like, you have no idea what we've been through. The people that's been in 3D printing for a long time, they're like, you just stepped in and bought this Cadillac, you know? And Awesome Woodwork says, which miter saw would you recommend? Depends on your budget. I love the Skill 10-inch saw. It's on sale right now on Amazon. If you're on a budget, it's like $250. I think it's less than that right now. Probably the best budget miter saw I have used. Mid-grade right now, the DWS 779 from DeWalt is by far my favorite miter saw that's not super expensive. And you get a free stand and all that with it. I think it's on Lowe's and Amazon. You don't get to stand on Amazon. It's on Lowe's and Home Depot. I've had one since 2017. I love it. If you don't care and you just want to buy something awesome, Festo Capex is amazing, but it's also like $1,500, $1,600. It's stupid expensive. It has no reason to be that expensive. But if it broke, I would buy another one. So I always try to stipulate that. All right, so here's a power tip. I saw this morning. As soon as I saw it on Instagram, I sent it to my wife, actually. I was like, this is amazing. And I would credit the account, but I forgot it because I just screenshot their stuff. So I shared this on the Sawdust Startups group coaching call today. Your ear is a womb. If you look at it like, this is amazing. I've never thought about that, right? What you listen to will eventually be conceived and born into your reality. Choose carefully what you listen to. Think about that.
That's awesome.
Like, what's going in there is affecting you, no matter what it is. If you got negativity, people constantly in your ear being negative, or if you're feeding yourself stuff like that, you're always on social media and it's always feeding you, negative bull, and you're always talking to yourself, talking down to yourself and giving yourself the business constantly. Yeah, it's affecting you. And so start changing that mindset. And it goes into, we was talking about it on Sawdust Startups call today, where like you're trying to grow your woodworking business and you're trying to, get your sales up and all this stuff. You got to be able to pour good stuff in. And so surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded like that to help support you so that you all can grow together, reading business books, trying to educate yourself on business and marketing and how to grow things. And like, it's a constant learning thing, but you need to be feeding yourself that kind of stuff and not all the trash, basically.
That's good power tip.
That's power tip.
That is.
Gareth says, my longest 3D print was 8 days, 15 hours, and 23 minutes. Start to finish.
Oh,
I don't know that my 3D printer could run that long. I'm sure it could.
I think my longest one's been like 21 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Steve Gale says, what would you pick as the 3 best woodworking tools Ridgid has out right now? I was seriously impressed by that cordless sander. Seriously. I was like, this is really good for, I don't like cordless sanders personally, but that one was good. I also think their track saw is kind of underrated. I do not like the proprietary track that it has. I wish it didn't have that. But for a track saw, it's pretty good. Pretty good. And thirdly, I think is their brushless router is really good too. They're all lifetime warranties, so that's our lifetime service agreement, not a warranty. Greg, you have any picks? Do you Ridgid at all?
I do not have the first single Ridgid tool.
When I graduated high school in 1995, I went to work for Milam Construction, and I was just a hand, right? And just, hey, go get that. But they did a lot. We did a lot of pipe fitting, a little water lines and stuff like that. and I get gas lines, all kinds of stuff. And they had this rigid threader, right? It's the first rigid thing I ever seen in my life. And that thing would break your arm if you didn't have it set up right, because it auto, you had to have the little stand with the chain that, you vice down on the metal pipe. And then you got this threader. If you didn't start it right, your stuff was all jacked up and you had to cut it off and start over. But if it was going down through there, man, that thing hung up, it would send you flying. Like it was a beast.
I remember
That was my
those.
first experience with any rigid tool. I think they're making good stuff. I think they're. I thought for a long time that I was like, I bought in this rigid stuff and they're kind of not doing anything. They're starting to pick up the pace. They're. It's hard because Emerson Electric actually owns them, and they basically license their stuff out through TTI, which owns Ryobi and Rigid, or Ryobi and Milwaukee. But they also have their own little thing going with Emerson. So I don't know. It's confusing. And then you put out a Rigid or Ryobi or Milwaukee video, and everybody's like, Milwaukee owns Ryobi. Ryobi owns Milwaukee. They're all the same stuff. Yeah, they're not. They're similar. I'm sure they use similar tech, and some stuff may be very, very the same, but a lot of stuff's not.
They use it for R&D a lot.
Yeah, I think we talked about Harvey being one of the most innovative power tool companies on the members only stream a while ago. I think Ryobi is one of the most innovative companies out there right now. They have so much stuff. They just throwing stuff against the wall constantly. I did a video on the Haters Guide of Ryobi a couple of years ago, and at the time they had like 200 low 200s of 18 volt tools. Now it's 360 plus, or I don't remember the number. Like it's a massive. Like they've just continually added to that. Then now they've got 40 volt stuff too. They also have the USB lithium stuff. I don't know. They crushing it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I use them. I'm on that platform, so
They're not bad, y'all. Haters gonna hate though. Question: if you had to choose, would you choose the DeWalt 779 or the Bosch Glide 12? If I didn't need space savings, I didn't care about that, I would absolutely just get the DeWalt. I know for a fact, because I've had it since 2017. I know it works. It's accurate. It does what I need it to do. It's going to work. If I needed space savings behind it, in other words, I'm going to mount that on a miter stand up against the wall, I'm getting the Glide. Those rails stick out way further than you think. Like when it's slight, it takes up a lot of room.
I'm lying. I said I didn't have a rigid tool. I don't now, but I did. I actually had the rigid dual bevel, which is basically the same saw as that Bosch Glide.
Yep.
As my miter saw before I got the Capex.
It's the same as the Delta Capex, Delta Cruiser.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But they operate very, very similar.
Yep.
4321 says, do you think a budget Craftsman tool chest top and bottom would be okay? Really trying to get the shop board. Yeah, I think they're good. Like the ones inside of Lowe's and stuff. Yeah, they're nice. If a woodworker was deliberating between rigid and skill platforms, which one would you give the nod to? I'd go rigid. Lifetime service agreement. They're making good stuff. So rigid's more, you think Milwaukee's like prosumer level, rigid's right there too. Like they're marketed and supposedly built in that same good category, especially this new stuff that's coming out. That I would just go rigid. And now that the lifetime service agreement, so when I had trouble with my router, which was like 6 years old when it burned up, and I abused that thing, y'all. When it burned up, I had to take it to a local dealer that was like a rigid authorized repair people. But now you don't even have to do that. You literally just mail it. They'll send you or give you a shipping label, and you just ship the thing to wherever they're going to repair it at, and they'll repair it or give you something else. Greg, before we jump off here, I'm going to answer one more question. So what quarter sander would you recommend that's around $100? The DeWalt variable speed sander on Amazon is about $70 to $80, something like that. That's the one. That's the best sander under $100 in my opinion. Bar none.
That's the one I used till I got the Festool.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it works, and it'll last you a long time. Greg, where can they find you at, man?
Man, you can find me everywhere at STL Woodworking. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and then my website.
Yeah, if you go to YouTube and you search STL Woodworking, you'll see his smiling face right there. Some of his videos right there. He's got a very, very good video you should go watch right after this one. Must have gifts every shop needs. And I agree with all of them. Whoa, there you go. Go check that one out. You'll see Santa fly by his face. Yeah. if you haven't subscribed to Greg, please go check him out. Hit that subscribe button. It's a good thing I'm subscribed. That'd have been embarrassing, wouldn't it?
That would have been.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Would have had to talk.
I've been subscribed to Greg for a long time. So, yeah, go check out his stuff. A lot of good epoxy videos on there, some CNC stuff as well. And, of course, the gifts every shop needs. If you watch this on replay, it'll be linked in the description, his channel and this live, or his channel will be linked down there so you can go subscribe. And I'll drop it in the chat for those of you who are still here so you can click on it and go directly there right now because we're fixing to end the stream. Greg, I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime, brother.
All right. Have a good night.